Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to game number 3 between Kiwikaki and Stephano. Here I am broadcasting the final game of this series, and I've got to say I am sweating so much right now. I had to take off my shirt, throw it, whip it around my head, and toss it onto the bed because even though it is winter right now, it is really, really hot. So just picture me casting in my shorts. I know a lot of people are always wondering, do broadcasters ever just wear shorts? Well, here I am admitting I am actually doing so because the last game really got my adrenaline pumping and I just need to cool down a little bit. Otherwise, I might overheat while I'm broadcasting, and I don't know if you guys would want that to happen. So here we are, game 3 between Reigns Kiwikaki and Millennium Stephano. We just saw one of probably the most awesome Zerg versus Protoss games the world has ever seen in that last broadcast. I mean, it was such a stalemate. It was so balanced to a knife's edge. I mean, either player could have won. It would have taken just one crucial mistake. But, you know, watching that game over and over again, I don't think any player made a crucial mistake. I think every player, well, Kiwikaki and Stephano, they made the right moves in that game, and they continued to make the right moves in that game. I mean, one of the examples I would bring out to you guys is Kiwikaki's mothership control. He was just able to use motherships very, very intelligently, very wisely, not using them in the main battle, but rather as a retreat mechanism, and he used it multiple times. So with that in mind, I mean, both these players obviously very talented. They're able to just get up in the mix of things and play very intelligently. I'm very excited to see how this is going to play out. Now remember, this is the round of 32 in IPL championship bracket at Atlantic City. So whoever wins this goes on. Whoever loses is done. They're out. They're going to go to the casino and probably lose a lot of money, as I lost a lot of money at Atlantic City. But a quick note here is you guys should probably check out www, not 5 W's, 3 W's IGN/IPL, and also follow their social media at Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Justin TV at IGN Pro League, where you guys can find more awesome content like this. And if you guys get a chance, also check me out on YouTube. You guys probably already know this, but if for the viewer, the casual viewer who may just be for the first time tuning in, or maybe the second or third time tuning into my YouTube channel and my videos, check it out. I'm at youtube.com/HDStarcraft. You guys can find a massive archive of my videos there. And you guys can also follow me on Twitter and Facebook if you guys want to stalk me and all that weird stuff that people who are on Facebook and Twitter do, which I do now because I'm a weirdo and I'm a super nerd. So that's that, and that's all I gotta say. So we'll have to see how this game is going to play out. This is the third and final game. Stephano going to go for a hatchery first here after the spawning pool, actually. So he's going to go ahead and play the macro game on Metalopolis, which totally makes sense. Kiwikaki also doing the same thing here. Would not surprise me to see him go for that double gateway opening again, which he seems to really like. And you know, you can't fault him. He's got a build. He works at it. He perfects it. It's very good, but you also have to say something for being adaptable, and if he's going to do the same build again against Kiwikaki, against Stephano, excuse me, then Stephano's going to catch on eventually, and yeah, he's going to do the same thing. He's got 2 gateways coming up at the front door. I'm pretty sure that's for double chrono boosted zealots, and he's going to move out and try to take out the hatchery at the third. But you know, I think Stephano is just going to be prepared for it this time. I mean, he's got to be. In the last game, he lost a hatchery, and well, let's just kind of rewind a little bit. In the first game, he lost a hatchery outright. He was just at a disadvantage. In the second game, though, he counterattacked, and he made Zerglings, and even though he lost his hatchery, he still killed off the Nexus. So if we're following this as a linear slope on a graph, you'd imagine that eventually Stephano's just going to be able to outsmart this, and he's going to produce Zerglings even earlier. Maybe this time he's just going to stop the Zealots in their tracks. So we'll just have to see how this is going to play out. But right now, Stephano is mining out of 2 bases. He has his gas just going right now, and speed most likely going to be coming down after that 100 gas. In fact, just a little bit late, as he had 150 gas. So Stephano here, certainly nerves getting to him. I'm not sure if there's any advantage there to waiting for an extra 50 gas. In fact, as a Zerg player, I can say there is no advantage. So he gets his speed just a tad bit late. Zealots are starting to make their way out across the gateways now, and this time without any rocks providing as an obstacle to go to the third. I would imagine Kiwikaki is probably going to move out with his 6 initial Zealots right away. He's not going to wait till I kill off any rocks or anything like that. So he's going to move out and make something happen. The probe, speaking of making something happen, will die in the mineral line. But it gets a scout off inside the natural, so it gets a little bit of recon and intel back to Kiwikaki's home base. And speaking of recon and intel, the Zergling also seeing the 2 gateways and the 4 zealots. So at this point, Stephano knows that it's coming. He knows that 6 plus zealots are coming, and he's starting to produce a lot of lings. And so he's adapted his build, in fact, pretty well. In fact, what is this rally? Whoa! Is he going to go for a run by here? That's about 8 Zerglings or so that are making their way across the map. So I'm not too sure what he's trying to do with that, but we'll have to see. Now, there are Zealots making their way across the field. Speed is about to kick in, and I'm not sure why Kiwikaki is not moving out with 6 Zealots. He's moving out with 4 Zealots in the front, and that's not enough to deal with this many Zerglings. The 2 Zealots straggling around the back, and Kiwikaki with a mistake here, and he gets intercepted in the middle of the field. Stephano with a brilliant attack. He surrounds all the Zealots in the middle, and really just disengaging the Zealots apart from each other. Now these 2 Zealots, the stragglers, are going to be picked apart as well, and this is why you do not be lazy. You're not supposed to be lazy in StarCraft 2. Those 2 Zealots seem to be penalized after they were resurrected back to Ire. They need to be sent to the Protoss hell for being lazy. That just costed Kiwikaki majorly. And Kiwikaki now quickly warping into Stargate, so even though he didn't kill off any hatchery, he's not deterred from his standard build. He's just going to go right into double Stargate play. But he's got to be careful here. Zergling's running inside, picks off 1 probe, picks off 2 probes, picks off 3 probes, and a 4th probe goes down. Stephano, yep, 4 probes going down. Brilliant play right there with those Zerglings running in. And actually, Stephano just one cut above the game, getting a Hydralisk Den as well. He knows that Kiwikaki is going to go for the double Stargate play, so Stephano is really just playing to win here, and he gets the Hydralisk Den out. And remember, Hydralisks are the unit you need to deal with Void Rays. Void Rays are an air unit, and at this stage in the game, there's not much Zerg can do to deal with that many Void Rays, save a large Hydra army. So getting the Hydralisk Den out, allowing Stephano to produce Hydralisks en masse is going to be the right maneuver here, the right move. And unlike the first game and the second game, in this game, Stephano looks very, very good. He hasn't lost a hatchery. He's counterattacked and killed 4 probes. He's killed the 6 initial Zealot push. But look at this. Kiwikaki throwing down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gates. So rather than going for the robotics facility after the Stargate as he usually does, he's going into mass. In fact, that's 7 gate. That's 7 gate double Stargate. Kiwikaki is going all in at this point. He is just going to try to warp in a bunch of ground forces, time it with +1 weapons, and all the Void Rays he can. And he's going to try to make a bust here. And so I kind of agree with Kiwikaki at this stage in the game. You know, his initial build completely failing. He loses 4 probes after the counterattack. If you're in a situation like that and this is the 3rd and final game, why not just go for the all-in? So he's got 7 gateways now, saving up all their cycles, ready to go. He's at 50 harvesters under 60, so he's not too far behind. He's actually getting a 3rd base as well, and he allows it to be scouted. You guys can see on the minimap, there is a 3rd nexus going up. And that Zergling did see that 3rd nexus, so I wonder if this is a feign from Kiwikaki or if he's actually going to try to expand here. This is very interesting. In fact, here comes Stephano moving out across the map with all of his forces, so maybe this feign is going to work. If it is indeed a feign, is Kiwikaki going to defend here, or is he going to go for the all-out attack? Yeah, he's going to go out for the all-out attack, so I think this nexus played its role. This nexus totally being used to draw the Zerg forces offsides, so to say. 5 yards back, offsides, and Stephano really just out of position here. There's a cancel on the Nexus. All those Zerg forces have got to make their way back home because Kiwikaki's impending 7 gate plus double Stargate is coming here, and the pylons are going out in the middle of the field. So this is it, ladies and gentlemen. Kiwikaki just going to go for the all-in here. Will he be able to do it? There's actually a 4th hatchery going up here. Kiwikaki's got to destroy the 4th hatchery, but more importantly, he's got to take out that 3rd. If he can kill off the 3rd hatchery, then he will be at a very good position in this game. But if he loses his entire forces here, if Stephano makes the hold, if he can make the stop happen, then Stephano is going to be leagues ahead of Kiwikaki, and we'll just have to see that so many Hydras in play now. Stephano's just got the perfect unit to deal with this army. Force fields coming down, not the most efficient force fields, though, especially considering Kiwikaki's only got four sentries. I'm not sure why he's force fielding like that. They're not efficient force fields. They're stacked on top of each other, and they're really not placed at any position that gives Kiwikaki an advantage. He's got to get next to the hatchery and then begin spinning out those force fields. But you guys can see his sentries that are selected don't really have that much energy, so he's only got about 4 or 5 more force fields left, if that. And in fact, he's going to go for the engage right here. He's only got 2 force fields, and he's going to go for the battle here. There are Spore Crawlers dug in. They are starting to do a lot of damage. The Void Rays getting focused down by the Hydralisk. There's only 3 Void Rays left, and it looks like Stephano is going to make the hold. He transfuses with his queens, I believe, and Stephano, with just barely enough Hydras and Roaches, pushes this back. There are reinforcements that have arrived, but Kiwikaki is on the back foot, and his 7 gate all-in plus double Stargate is not going to work. Kiwikaki trying to go for the all-in here, but is going to fail. And Stephano with one of the most epic holds I've ever seen, considering especially that he was feigned by the 3rd Nexus. Stephano was feigned by the third Nexus, so as all of his ground forces were out of position, but he pulled them back just in the nick of time, and he makes the hold happen, and Kiwikaki is just going to GG. There it is. Kiwikaki calls it GGG, well played. Stephano moves on in the tournament, but what an epic series, and that second game especially, one of the most intense games I've ever had to cast. Literally, it just made me sweat so much. So that's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this game, this series of games. If you guys did, make sure to subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Make sure to also follow IGN Pro League. That's all I'm going to say about that. I'm going to try to broadcast some more games. I think my next video is going to be a direct broadcast of the latter game I played with Pain User on IGN Pro League's television channel, because it was just an epic ladder game I had. So I'm going to try to probably rebroadcast that one on my YouTube channel, and we'll see what else. So make sure you guys stay tuned, guys. This is HD, signing out.